Hey, I'm serious. This video is for parents only. Inside the description, down at the bottom, there are different ideas of things that your kids can do while you watch this video. So if your kids are with you, pause and go through and find an activity for them to do, or come back and watch it later once the kids are busy, because I don't want them to know the secret sauce, the secret tips. So it's super important that the kids aren't listening over your shoulder, because in order for you to be a ninja, you have to have super secret ninja training, and you don't want your kid to know tips and tactics. So follow the description below. And as you're watching this video, if it resonates with you, you know what to do with the buttons that are underneath. And if you think of anybody that would benefit from us, please just share it with them and tag them in the comments. But again, parents only. Make sure your kids are busy doing something else. In there, I think I linked a free a catapult activity that my kids absolutely loved. If you don't have the exact materials that are listed there, don't worry, I didn't either. We improvised, and then the kids spent hours creating catapults. And then at the end of the afternoon or after lunch, we had a who can shoot the Lego thing the farthest, or a pine cone in the front yard contest. It was fantastic. So that's in there. There's a really cool Mark Roper video in there, and some other things. So make sure your kids are entertained and busy, and this is just for you. Mom and dad, as an educator, one of the best things that we can do is to inspire our kids to learn in a way that they don't know that they are learning, right? It's secret sauce. So you want to do stuff that inspires them, but they don't really know that you have, got a hair in my mouth. They don't really know that you have helped them. So my first ninja tip is from my dad, and it is learning how to cheat. I am 8 years older than my brother. My brother was born in the year that Star Wars first came out. I remember standing in line around the building waiting for Star Wars to come out. And my little brother was about 13. I was married, and my husband was away on his first Westpac deployment. That's a Western Pacific 6-month journey across the ocean, many, many years ago. And so for my brother's 13th birthday, my dad bought my brother not one, but 2 bicycles. Now, I was a married woman, totally sure that I knew everything under the sun, because I was 21, so I knew everything. And I'm like, Dad, what the heck are you doing buying this boy 2 bicycles? He goes, I'm cheating. I go, what do you mean you're cheating? He goes, just watch. So my brother was the youngest of 4, the only boy, and we lived in a neighborhood that it was far away from his friends. And so the boy got 2 bicycles, and all of us girls, me, 21, and then the other girls underneath were like, whatever. And within a week, my brother and I went on a bicycle ride together. And we started to go on bicycle rides almost daily together because the boy had 2 bikes. When his friend came over to visit, the boys would go on bicycle rides because the boy had 2 bikes. My father didn't buy my brother 2 bicycles. My father unlocked the door for my brother to have building blocks to build relationships with other people. And I thought it was brilliant. And although I don't like to use the word cheat, as a good, upstanding Christian woman, my dad cheated because he looked ahead and he saw the goal. He saw his boy was lonely and he wasn't spending time with his friends. So he cheated and bought him 2 bicycles for his birthday. Brilliant. That was an amazing ninja trick, Dad. Okay, the second ninja trick I learned from my mother-in-law, and that was this idea of being uninterested, seemingly. She came to visit for the very first time, and I think the boys were maybe 2, 4, 5, 12, and teen. Like they were in that age range of between 2 and early teens. And she went grocery shopping to bless us with food. And she bought all these fruits and vegetables. And so we're prepping dinner. Dinner was going to be about an hour away. And she starts cutting veggies, mushrooms and celery and artichoke hearts and all this stuff. And she starts putting it on a tray for the kids. And I said, Mom, the kids are not going to eat those. They don't eat vegetables. She goes, just watch. I'm like, what? She puts the tray on the kitchen table and all boys unanimously say, yuck. And so she picked up some artichoke hearts and she goes, oh, these were for me. Oh, but if you're hungry, feel free. It's going to be a while for dinner. Feel free. You're welcome to anything on the tray. And then she grabbed a couple more things, turned her back and walked away. And there I stood in the kitchen, dumbfounded that all 5 of my sons devoured and cleared the plate. While my mother-in-law sat there like, see, you just don't push it. You just provide the buffet and let the kids have the power to make the decision. They don't feel force-fed. Brilliant. So learn to cheat, 2 bicycle trick. Learn to be uninterested, seemingly, the veggie story. Now, how to be a ninja. I'm going to be careful with what I share on the links. So make sure that you remember that this video is for parents only because we don't want to know our kids. Sorry, still recovering from bronchitis. So forgive me if I cough. We don't want our kids to think that we're trying to set them up to build strong relationships. Oh, they buck against that. We don't want our kids to know that we're just trying to improve their vegetable intake for the day, right? So instead, we want to present them with opportunities to do things that lead them to the water, and then they choose to drink themselves. So as a gray hair, these are like gray-haired lessons. So I'm like 25 years into homeschooling. I consider myself to be a homeschool ninja, and I am pretty skilled at getting the boys to do what I want them to do secretly behind the scenes. Oh, I'm so sorry. This year specifically, with all the flood of new homeschoolers out there, there is an influx of questions and concerns about how do I get my kids to write their letters and to do their math and to improve their handwriting, and how do they make it through their writing prompts? They're crying because their hands are hurting by the end of the day. And the trick is to cheat and to be uninterested. So I am going to write some typical goals that people would have for their kids, especially if they are, I don't know, 5th grade all the way down to preschool. We want our kids, I just tried to trip on something and kill myself on live Facebook, but I didn't do it because I'm a ninja. Okay, one of the first things is that we want our kids to improve their fine motor skills. Okay, I have 5 sons. 5. My oldest, okay, hold your hat for this one, parents. Guess how young were your kids when they learned to walk? My 4 youngest sons learned to walk at 12 months, 14 months, 14 months. The oldest was 18 months old. The kind of child that you could put on a blanket in the middle of the grass and he wouldn't leave the blanket because he didn't like the feeling of the grass. Fantastic. But my oldest child, okay, we called him kamikaze on feet. Can you guess how young he was when he started to walk? I'm not making this up. The child, when he was born, was stiff-legged. He never wanted to sit. So even as an infant, you had to kind of bend his knees and force him to sit down. So that should have been, what do you call that, a premonition? He was 6.5 months old when he stood up, looked across the room, and ran. And then he was kamikaze on feet until he was stable, which only took another 5 months. Gray. See the gray? It was horrifying. Fine motor skills is a big deal. For boys develop stereotypically slower with their fine motor skills than our girls. Well, I don't even have girls, but you can attest to whether or not this is true. Girls develop their verbal skills much sooner than boys do, because boys and girls are not the same. At the heart and core of most girls, they are relational. If you give them a paper and pencil, they will draw nouns, flowers and horses and houses and hearts and butterflies. Boys are gross motor oriented, stereotypically. I got 5, so I did my own scientifically proven research here. Boys are stereotypically gross motor developers. Big muscles. Through my pen. Hold on. Boy mom here. Big motor skills. They don't say mama, they say right from the very beginning. So stereotypically, boys will need more time to develop their fine motor skills before you hand them a pencil. It's why Legos are like the best learning building thing that you can put in your boys' and girls' hands, because the clicking and the removing of the blocks is one of the best fine motor development things. So fine motor skills is high on the list of parents, because as kids are starting to learn to write their name, the ABCs, or form their numbers correctly, they don't have the fine motor skills to, number one, hold the pencil correctly. Oh, how many of you have kids that hold their pencil like this? I have one that always held his pencil like this until maybe last year. The boy's 17. So he just couldn't hold his pencil. So this whole thing of writing fine motor, it just takes longer than we think it should. And in our world, where kids stereotypically are not spending the day with their fingers in the mud, playing with Play-Doh until they're 8, finger painting until they're 8, learning to sew with samplers, kids aren't developing their fine motor skills. So then what problems come with that? They can't form their letters. I hear this all the time. I see this all the time. Somebody help me. My daughter's handwriting is atrocious. Somebody help me. My son looks like he's destined to be a doctor because nobody can read his handwriting. So forming letters is almost impossible without those fine motor skills. Yes. See, they love Legos and they love to talk. These are stereotypical things, because I have the scientific proven founded research based on my 5 boys. Anyway, letters. The next thing, and your girls better be doing something, Trish. Don't be watching this with my 3 little girls. Okay, so letters, numbers. By the time they hit long division and they have to write their numbers in nice, straight, neat lines, that becomes a headache and a heartache if they don't have the fine motor skills necessary. They can't form their letters, they can't form their numbers, they can't draw straight lines. This becomes really hard when you're doing linear equations and quadratic equations and long division and writing a paragraph or a letter or an essay or a research paper. It becomes harder than necessary if they don't have these fine motor skills, if they haven't developed those pincher skills where they can pick up things. Oh, yes. Yay for the moms that know this is truly for parents only. Okay, so fine motor skills, letters, numbers, and ultimately handwriting. We want our kids, even in today, okay, all 5 of my sons, is that true? 4 of my sons have beautiful handwriting. One of them loves calligraphy and writes beautiful handwriting, cursive, that I find almost impossible to read because it's not dark enough. And all of his things are perfectly slanted, only they're really, it's hard to read. Fine motor skills, letters, numbers, and handwriting. So some of the things that we can do, oh yes, young hands simply are not fully developed. Be patient with your littles, Legos, and Play-Doh. So important that your kids develop fine motor skills. And we do that by cheating, by giving them extra Lego time, extra Play-Doh time, extra finger paints, sending them in the backyard with a bucket and some pie plates and some old plastic plastic spoons and things, and have them make mud pies. We cheat by giving them challenges with a stopwatch of how many beads they can fit on pipe cleaners and all this stuff. You cheat by making it a game, and don't tell them that you're helping them have beautiful handwriting by the time they're an adult, and they will be able to handle long division for hours on end and write their letters perfectly so that we can read their ninja. You must cheat to make this amazing. And then so you do things that exercise their hands. And then you want to exercise. You don't want to hand a 4-year-old a pencil and expect them to write their letters and numbers beautifully. Don't panic that their letters are backwards and all that stuff. Instead, you want them to scribble much longer than maybe your spouse wants them to scribble, your mother-in-law wants them to scribble, your neighbor next door with the 4-year-old prodigy that's already, they need to scribble for a lot longer than you think developmentally necessary. And scribbling is all kinds of stuff. You can do, you can have spaces. Oh, do you ever play that game, the dots game? Where you do all the dots on the line. And then you take turns making the lines, where here's my turn, here's their turn, here's my turn, here's their turn. And in the old fashioned, and you're trying to get as many squares as possible. A good game to be a ninja, instead of having them write the first letter of their name or a little thing, is give each of you a different color pen. Depending on how old they are, vary the size of the tip of the pen. It takes longer to do what I'm going to show you with a smaller pen than with a big pen. And instead play blackout. So they just have to black out the block. And that motion of coloring in the circle is exercising all of the muscles in their hand. Does that make sense? So they're doing building things, they are doing blackout things, scribbling in different ways. When you look at this board, I see straight lines, I see loop-de-loops, I see dots, I see bumps. Scribbling is, you can do scribbling contests. You can teach them to scribble swirls, zigzags, up and down, or any other shape that you want. But remember, I'm just making sure here, remember, you want to be a ninja, right? You want to sneak this in. And this is where I'm going to tell you that I have something for you. Don't jump off. If you can't afford the $6, message me and I'll tell you how you can get it for free. Okay. What I accidentally, it's going to make me cry. I accidentally created something so beautiful to help you be a ninja that I can't even tell you how amazing it is. I just launched Doodle Clubhouse for Kids. It officially, the camp launched yesterday. And inside there, I accidentally created all of these things for you. I cheated. I made it really cute and fun. I have tips on how to be uninterested. Inside I have a worksheet for each lesson, each theme, that you don't have to say anything. I show the kids hand exercises. Okay, here's a sneak peek. Next week, we're going to do duck hands, and I'm going to have a lemon. And so the exercise is duck eating a lemon. Duck eating a lemon. Duck eating a lemon. And you're exercising your hands, okay? Each theme My son wants to draw scribbles in ink from PBS Kids on the app you can watch. Perfect. Oh, yay. Okay, I'm going to leave that up. So, because I think it's amazing too. Duck eating a lemon. Inside, I accidentally created all of these things, and I'm going to explain why it's accidentally in a second. They have hand exercises, and you don't see my face. I recorded it so that you just see the hands, and each video inside is less than 2 minutes long. They have hand exercises. There's a blackout activity that we do together, but then I put some secret sauce, ninja style, and it has funny voices in there. And then we do guided scribbling where we're doing lines. These are on purpose. When you do these types of lines, you are practicing what letters? E, L, any of those loopy F's if you're doing cursive. You're practicing letters. Straight lines equate into lines and numbers and being able to grid and graph. Zigzags are Z's and W's and that kind of thing. And so every single scribble in there is with purpose to set the kids up for their fine motor skills, letters, and numbers. And then for 6 weeks, I have these mega lessons of like the space videos. Trish, I don't remember how many. Do you remember how many videos? I think there are 12 or 13 really short videos that teach the kids how to do something. So anyway, this accidentally happened. On a whim, I was really stressed out this summer, and I saw Diane Bleck with the Doodle Institute do an interview, and I was mesmerized by the doodles in the back. And she did what I did as I'm talking here. As she was talking, she was doodling and writing on the board. And I was captivated while she was sharing because my brain was like, I can draw that. I can do that. Oh, that's super cute. And so on a whim, I bought a couple of her classes, loved them, became an affiliate, kind of an ambassador of hers. And then just a couple weeks ago, she released this other piece that's called the Doodle Clubhouse. And she basically lovingly handed all of the resources that would help me build Doodle Clubhouse for kids. It included the printables for the notebook, the separators, and all the stuff so the kids could be organized if you wanted to be a ninja and teach them about organization. And then what I did was I kind of peeked over Diane's shoulder and I looked at what worked inside the Doodle Institute. And what worked was a short video that showed me how to draw and then gave me a place to share. And so I thought, okay, I will do that. And I created this long video for the kids, and then it wouldn't upload. And I had to go pick up something at the store. And while I was driving, well, I was being driven by my 18-year-old. While I was on the way, I was like, wait, Bekki, these are young kids. These are 4, 5, 6-year-olds that don't have fine motor skills, they don't have these skills yet. They don't need, thank you, they don't need a 28-minute long video. They need a 1 to 2 minute video that shows them one thing. Now, all of this launched yesterday. And I opened up my inbox this morning, and I can't tell you how many messages I got from moms. Now, I want to tell you the uninterested story. One of the moms reached out to me yesterday. She's like, okay, how important is this notebook thing? Because seriously, I'm hung up on the whole notebook. I don't have time for that. I go, the notebook's not important at all. And she said, well, my daughter always wants to do the exact opposite of me. So I don't know if the doodle thing will work for her. Her younger sister, yes, but I don't know if it'll work for her. I said, I have an idea for you. I said, I want you to just get blank pieces of paper, put them on the table with some pens. And while the girls are sitting there, don't invite them to join you. Just start the videos and start drawing. And so she started the video, she started drawing, and sure enough, her younger daughter, the very first lesson is how to deal with your mistakes. Because being a ninja, we know that our kids are going to struggle with perfectionism. And so I wanted right away for them to know what to do when their hand doesn't cooperate. So the little girl not only created her mistake creatures, but then she brought them to life with, like, mom sent me a video of her going through her 4 doodle creations, and she did all this stuff, and we posted that inside the group. It is so cute. And the older daughter sat there and watched. Ready? Cheat, uninterested. After dinner, the daughter snuck up to the mom and said, "Is it okay if I watch the doodle videos alone?" And the mom's like, "Sure, of course." And then she was so excited with what she created that she could not wait to share it with her mom and with the doodle kids inside the clubhouse. And her mom sent me that message, and I sent parenthesis, high five, we're doing the dance and we're yelling yeehaw. And she sent me all these cute emojis. Super win, because the videos are set up so that you get instant mastery. Kids need to know that something that they see as hard is doable. And what Diane taught me in the Doodle Institute is that when you do a short, clear, guided drawing, kids get instant mastery. They go from not being able to draw a spaceship to being able to draw a spaceship. They go from not being able to draw a flower to being able to draw a flower that's beautiful or cute or quirky. It's amazing. Not only are they building their fine motor skills and setting themselves up for long division and beautiful handwriting later, but they're becoming visual thinkers, overcomers, and just these amazing creators. And I'm getting pictures. Some of the moms aren't on Facebook. I'm staring at the picture. I can't reach it, but there's one, I can't even see. 2, 4, 6. There's 8 kids that she sent me the picture, and they're all holding their picture with the big smiles, except one. He's like this. And because the first lesson, he didn't buy it. He's like, I don't know about this. Just that whole like mistake creation, but he was a good sport. The message I got this morning, I was so blessed. I almost burst into tears. It was like, oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding. She said, and I quote, somebody says adorable. Somebody says, oh my gosh, I can't believe how amazing this is. And she's in my other inbox. So amazing. So all of the kids in the group are super, super excited. I should have pulled this up so I had it available. I get a lot of email. Okay. Thank you for making this available to us. The kids did the space section today after lunch, and they loved it. They were proud to show their doodles to their dad, even the one who wasn't sure about the doodle thing. You're making some fun memories for this group of kids, starting off the year with smiles, best, perfect for learning, the best. And you know, it's so fun to watch kids just explode into creativity. Now, there's a disclaimer on the doodle thing. It's not for everybody. Not everybody loves to doodle. Not everybody loves to draw. So you need to use your ninja skills to cheat and to be uninterested to help them develop those fine motor skills so that they can write their letters and they can do their numbers and they can have legible handwriting at the end of the day. So anyway, I wanted to come on and share with you because you want to be a ninja. You want to cheat. You want to give the kids the materials for the catapult and say, wow, we don't have everything that she used in the little video, but I do have these. I wonder if you guys can make use of this, and then walk away. You should have seen the catapults that my kids did. We also did one of her videos where we made hovercrafts with balloons and old CDs. House was a disaster, but they learned about science and the movement of air, and it was beautiful. And I wasn't teaching it. It was somebody else that was teaching it. I know we home moms and dads love to hold on to the reins when we are teaching. However, sometimes we can cheat and we can be uninterested and we can show our kids another ninja and walk away and then watch the magic happen. This whole Doodle Clubhouse for kids was not on my agenda to create here. And I really think that somebody had a plan, because I know that we are still social distancing, and the ability for the kids to be in the Facebook group. So the Doodle Clubhouse is over here, my teacher store, and that's where all the videos are. And so you just go through and mark complete, and you can rewatch your favorite, this doodle or that doodle, and you get all the pebbles over there. But once you create your fun thing, then you take a picture and you share it over here in this tight little Facebook group. And I don't know about you, but I'm in a couple groups where the people are amazing. Like Trish is in a lot of the groups that I'm in. Gail is in a lot of the groups that I'm in. Amazing, the relationships that you build in this tight group. But when it comes to creating, kids, my sister joined the Doodle group yesterday. Magic. My sister's 50 something like me. And she was so excited to share some of her drawings out there in the Doodle Club because she never thought they were good enough to share with other people. They're stunning pictures. And I had to message her. I'm like, Jessie, most of these people are kids, so hold back on your amazing stuff because, oh, I said her name. You can find her stuff inside there. Amazing artist. The thing that happens when you share a picture that you worked on and you mastered and you're like, oh, that's awesome. And then you share it with people that say, wow, I love the color that you used. Look at how cute that is. Our kids grow in confidence, and then they do more and do more and do more. And ninja style, they are developing their fine motor skills, which they will need for almost everything that they might do. Can you tell it's smoky in my area? Is it smoky where you guys are? I'm in Western Washington. And the perfect time to have fires and smoke is right after you had bronchitis. It's amazing. I have friends that have been evacuated and their parents have been evacuated. I hope you guys are all okay. But the magic that happens when kids share their creations in a safe place and they're loved on and encouraged by other kids and other parents is that it's not you that's telling them that they're amazingly creative and talented and unique. It's not you that's telling them that everybody makes mistakes. It's me that's telling them, hey, mistakes are normal. It's not you that's telling them that their drawings don't need to be perfect. It's me that's telling them, hey, your drawings don't need to be perfect. You just keep practicing and keep practicing. Hey, you doodle the same thing 100 times and you're teaching your hand what to do so that your brain gets out of the way. It's magic. I didn't mean to magically create this Doodle Clubhouse for kids. And I am eternally grateful for Diane Bleck and her Doodle Institute. She lovingly and openly shared all these things so that I could create this thing that's different and unique. It started with her supplies. It started with her doodle notebook and the first 6 weeks. So we're doing a 6-week of fall camp where we go through these different themes. Space is already there. Next week is flowers and rainbows. And of course we had to add some secret flowers don't grow without the secret things that I added. And then we have, I forget what order, but we have houses and cars and galactic unicorns and all kinds of stuff. Power shots of videos that the kids can have instant mastery over. And then I'm asking the kids, well, what other kind of doodles do you want? And I already have, between my own notebook and the suggestions that the kids are starting to give, I already have enough to keep once a week videos going at least a year, if not through eternity. I believe in the power of visual thinking so much that I can tell this was what I was born to do. And I am so excited to watch the kids blossom. Now, why only $6? Why $6? Why not free? Okay, first of all, they take a long time for me to develop and I can't do it for free. Only $6 because people can collect aluminum cans enough to pay for that. My kids cut grass and earn enough money to do that. And when we pay for something, we actually do it. I don't know how many free things I have on my computer that I've never opened, too many to count. But when we pay a little bit, we actually do it. But I don't want that to hold anybody back. So if even that $6, and for some people that $6 is not doable, and I understand that, but I have a way for you to be able to get your kids into the Doodle Clubhouse for free. You just need to message me and ask. So wrapping up, if this made sense to you, if any part of it made sense to you, please give it a thumbs up. Oh, hearts are way better because hearts are like love, right? They're more like ninja sauce when it comes to things. Tag your friends. Just say, hey, I just watched this and I think it will help you with your son's handwriting or your daughter's motor skills. Or, hey, I saw that you were talking about math being all wonky and messy. I think this might help you. So share it with your friends. And because kids are watching and because people are going to watch this later, I didn't want this video to be a sales pitch. I seriously wanted this to be ninja. I want you to have the secret sauce of helping your kids develop these skills that are so necessary. Gail is a master organist and an instructor. And so she's like, wow, doodles aren't my wheelhouse, but music is. This is fantastic. One of my kids is a master musician and he's not so much a doodler, but they need these skills in order to do what they're going to do in their future. Okay, let me just double check, see, does anybody have any questions? So if you commented, or if you want the link, now you can find me on Teachable, A Better Way to Homeschool, and right at the top of the page, you'll see the Doodle Clubhouse. That's how you sign up. You click there, you enroll, you pay the $6. Excuse me. I get a notification, and inside that class, you then get the link to send you to the Facebook group. And once it's verified that you're supposed to be there, then I let you into the Facebook group. I tag you on my email list so that I can send you the updates as they come out every week, because I'm going to be doing one new theme every Thursday, especially through the camp. And then that's it. It's super easy to follow. The videos are super clear. Okay, so let me see. So we've got, Natasha said, Emily's Wonder Lab on Netflix. Every 10 episodes has a science experiment. Oh, yay! Okay, for science, there's so much that you can do with your hands. And I have not heard of Emily's Wonder Lab, so I will check that out. So fine motor skills, super important to everything. In my house, I have so I have a musician and I have a future surgeon. And so at least that's what he wants to do right now at 15. So fine motor skills are super, super important for them. And I'll leave you with this. You want your kids to have great skills and great handwriting and all that stuff. Fine motor skills do not develop overnight. And I need you to remember that when you're dealing with your 4-year-old or your 6-year-old or your 10-year-old, and they're lacking in these skills, and you start to flood them with cheating and uninterested ninja type stuff, recognize that you're not going to see their growth and development in these areas overnight. It may take months or years for them to get the skills that they need, but it's super important that you stick and stay and that you find ways, find clays, find Legos, find pipe cleaner type things, sewing and crocheting and knitting, wire jewelry and all the rest. Find activities that you can cheat and be uninterested in that develop these fine motor skills because they need them. And if they don't develop them before they're 16, so what? But if they're young, they will develop them faster and they'll be less aware of the fact that they don't have their fine motor skills. So flood them with ideas. Let me see. I can't get my son to color. He can't stand coloring. No interested. Prefers to scribble, draw inventions. Absolutely. Somewhere on my blog is, okay, backing up. When my oldest son, who is now 28 and married, would spend time during break at school, he and his friends would go back and forth drawing this massive battle scene. There's all stick figures, but they would draw the landscape, and then one of them would draw the guy over here, and then another guy would draw the guy over here, and then this guy would shoot a missile, and then this guy would launch up, and it was this interactive thing. The difference between boys and girls when it comes to drawing, again, stereotypically, is that boys draw verbs. So when you look at a little girl's drawing, stereotypically, you'll go, oh, that's a beautiful heart. Oh, look at the bike. Hey, is that a mushroom? Girls draw concrete things. We build relationships. We're very, that's important to us. Boys are action. Action. They're action verbs. So when you look at a boy's drawing, it looks like this. And they're so excited to show you. And a lot of people make the mistake of going, wow, that's a mess. What, did you scribble? Can't you draw like, Instead, you say, wow, it looks like there's a lot going on there. Can you tell me what's happening? And suddenly, okay, there was this kid and he was standing in a field when all of a sudden a tornado dropped out of the cloud. And then he was running and he didn't know what to do, and zap, he got hit by lightning. And so he was trying to get away from the storm, and suddenly, he got hit. Suddenly in front of him, there was all these mountains that he had to climb. Boys draw verbs. So when it comes to doodling and drawing, creating, you don't put your kids in a box, okay? You don't say it's only done when it's in pen, it's colored, it has a title, you've signed it, it has a background, and it's framed and hung on a wall. Ninja. You cheat, you're uninterested, and you let somebody like me say, okay, here's how you do it. Now, after you've completed your scene and you're ready to share, come share it in the Facebook group. Now, when they go to the Facebook group, the feed will be filled very shortly. It's going to fill up really fast with creative designs. It just launched yesterday, so there's only a few out there so far, but these kids are so excited. It's going to be filled. And they're going to see a whole variety of people of all ages and stages and what they do with the doodles. Some of them will be black and white. One of the little girl's doodles was in red pen. Some of the doodles are beautifully colored. And your son will look at them and he will then match what he did against theirs. I will be there to reinforce that everybody is unique and gifted and everything's going to be different. You and I get the same directions. We're going to draw different pictures, period. So he's going to hear that from me all the time. But what happened to me when I was in the Doodle Institute and Diane did her camp this last summer was I would draw my picture and I'd go share it in the group, and then I'd scroll through and I'd look at what everybody else did, and I was like, oh, I love that lettering. I love those colors. Oh, what a cute background. Oh, Dad, I love that. And then the next time I did a lesson, I absorbed some of those things and I incorporated it into my own art. And I'm watching and waiting because I know the kids are going to do the same thing. But if they never color, it doesn't matter. Some kids prefer black and white. And if they're action verbs in little bodies, let them be filled with action. They'll draw one of the drawings, excuse me, is this little creature. I love her because she's got these football eyes and she has this square mouth, super cute, funny feet, drawing fast, fingers. So there's these little like alien type creatures. And so he will likely draw his aliens with maybe jetpacks on them, flying off from the planet, so that, oh, she's levitating in outer space and she's connected to the planet. Oh, you can't see. She's connected to the planet by a tether so that she won't drift off into outer space. Let him be creative. Let him do whatever he would do in there. So that's it. Parents only. I hope none of the kids snuck in and got over your shoulder. They don't need to know this. Be a good cheater. Get 2 bikes for 1. Set them up. Know what the goal is. You want them to be friendly. You want them to be kind. You want them to have better fine motor skills. You want them to know to replace the toilet paper roll when the toilet paper gets to the end. Know the goal, and then devise a plan that is a game or an activity or something that they don't realize that they're heading towards your goal. Give them the materials that they need and be not uninterested, like you don't care, but not invested in what they want to do creatively. So you give them the supplies. He doesn't want to color. Give him markers, crayons, pencils, chalk, watercolors, and just set them on the table and say, I know that you like your stuff black and white, but if you get inspired to add color, I wanted to make sure that you could kind of play with different kinds of things. Then turn your back and walk away. The boy is going to color in some way. It may be a scribble, but sometimes it's just a matter of the proper materials. And that's it. Ask for the link or look for me on Teachable at A Better Way to Homeschool. And then get your kids in the Doodle Clubhouse if that works for you. Share it with your friends. Like, love, and comment below. I thank you for spending time with me. This is super, super important. And I am so excited to watch kids that are like mine. The air quality yesterday was at a 54. Today it's at 170 something. It was in the green yesterday. It's in the red. You're going to die if you go outside today. So great. So in this season of, wow, we're stuck at home. We're launching into the school year. Mom wants me to have beautiful handwriting. Let him doodle or something that builds their fine motor skills. So I think that's it. Oh, one more question. He also wants to write his words boxy. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm going to erase. Can I erase my board? Just a little bit. Play with, let him. How old did you say he was? Did you say he's 6? Oh my gosh, he's so little. Don't even worry about his letter formation. Who says handwriting needs to look like mine? The goal of handwriting. Okay, remember, look at the goal. The goal of handwriting is to be legible. That's it. That's it. Oh, sure, you want him to have beautiful handwriting. Why? That's a pride issue. Sorry. Okay, for me, that's a pride issue. I want my kids' handwriting to be beautiful so that people go, oh, Bekki, you did so good. Now, that's me. That might not be you. Handwriting itself doesn't matter. He is 6. I wouldn't even, if I could go back and teach my boys again, I wouldn't even have them hold a pencil for letters and numbers and things until they were 8, or begging, just period. Boxing letters are really cool. So let me write boy, 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 boy. As long as you can read it, just have it be legible. He's young. He's going to learn that there is uppercase and lowercase letters, and that's important, but it's not the goal. The goal is that you can read the writing. Does that make sense? So I'll answer more questions in the feed as they come in later, just in text. I have to go be a ninja with my own kids and make sure that they are doing something. And thank you for spending time with me. This is super, super heavy on my heart, and I am so excited by what I'm seeing already. And I know that there are many, many, many kids that are going to just blossom from the ability to have instant mastery over this kind of stuff. So you go have a wonderful day. I will continue to participate in the thread, and you go and have a great day. We also live in a digital world, so if he's writing boxy, that's okay. He's just playing and expressing himself. So anyway, go have a wonderful day, and I will see you out here soon. Bye.